but it causes repeated trauma to the brain. And over years and years of this happening, people can get what's called chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE syndrome. And it's almost like a disease, because with repeated trauma to the brain, and that can lead to memory problems, mood swings, even trouble with movements. And eventually people can develop dementia, like Alzheimer's disease. And Jake Paul got knocked out by Anthony Joshua this past Friday night. And so I want to break this down from a medical perspective. I'm a neurosurgeon with over 25 years of experience. And so, what happens is when you get hit in the head with that kind of force, like in boxing, our brain actually moves inside our skull, and it can bump into the skull, which is a firm structure, and cause bruising in the brain.
In the morning, I can't sleep. My jaw's busted. They wired it up a couple hours ago, and it hurts every time I move my mouth. I lost tonight. I gave everything, and I still lost. Feels like I let everyone down. I'm not unbreakable.
Jake Paul gets his jaw broken. Not only that, but he gets his lower jaw broken from the right and the left side, so both sides. And not only this, following that, he went through an emergency surgery procedure to get that sorted out, and titanium plates were inserted to help stabilize the case. This will take long to fully heal.
Whereas the reality nobody wants to face. Once you've been hit like that, truly hit, the body may heal. But the brain remembers even when the ego pretends it doesn't. The talk about CTE and long-term damage isn't background noise. It's a warning label. Trauma stacks over time. And Jake just added a layer that doesn't fade away.
He was going like tie him down and catch him with a good shot and shit like that.
So wait, do you think, curious, because it's a business aspect, but again, I'm still a nigga, and I'm still a casual fan, so I'm being real, so hold on.
6 to 8 months, maybe a year. Plates in the jaw, dental reconstruction, weight fluctuation, hesitation and reflexes. And that's just the physical checklist. Mentally, something shifted the moment he admitted heavyweight was a mistake. That sentence hit harder than any punch because it sounded like doubt, finally finding its voice.
Pushed down on the back of his neck, pushed down on the back of his head, got him to the ground. There was a few times where Jake looked like he was going for a takedown. Again, that was Jake trying to engage in the clinch, and AJ smartly moved back. In one instance, I think it was the 5th round, Jake engaged for a clinch, AJ moved back.
Anthony Joshua showing respect somehow made it worse, not better. Respect from the man who did the damage confirms the damage. When AJ says that punch would have dropped real heavyweights, that isn't praise. That's context. And context is cruel when it exposes how thin the margin really was all along.
To Anthony Joshua sleeping Jake and breaking his jaw in 2 different places, along with breaking his teeth. Gervonta joined the fun with the rest of the boxing community by throwing a meme on Jake Paul. That was his reaction, as you guys see above.
With recovery updates and motivational captions. Behind the scenes, promoters are recalculating, potential opponents are circling, commissions are paying attention, and there are quiet whispers, very quiet, that not everyone involved wants the rematch narrative to exist at all.
Paul was knocked out in round 6 and suffered 2 fractures to his left jaw. Here's the moment that did it.
Chin served on a platter for that right hand right there. And look at Jake Paul's face.
There's no way I can share the actual injury here. It's a bit too gruesome, as the camera was put inside Jake's mouth and his teeth were actually not in a straight line. They were separated from the others as the jaw deviated. Question is though, what kind of recovery process Jake would be?
Question is what kind of recovery Jake even has left. You're probably expecting the comeback arc, the revenge storyline, the Phoenix Rising. But be honest with yourself after seeing those before and after images burned into your memory. Does confidence really return the same, or does hesitation slip in just before the next exchange? Because that half second is where careers end.
On Jake's back. So all of those things kind of deteriorated or emptied Jake's gas tank a lot earlier than I think he expected it to. But overall, I thought he deployed his game plan well for the first 5 rounds and actually had some success. He even moved AJ back a few times, 1 by just jabbing in the air, and 2 when he caught him.
Else is coming. You can feel it. Too many reactions don't line up. Too many people are choosing their words carefully. Someone is protecting something. Maybe a negotiation, maybe a condition, maybe a decision made weeks ago that explains why everything unraveled so fast. When that surfaces, the story flips again.
Yeah, he just represents everything that's wrong with boxing, unprofessionalism, and he's getting what he's reaping what he sows. But I hate working with people like that. He stands everyone up, film crews, everything. Doesn't do any promotion.
No, this isn't over. Not even close. Jake Paul didn't just lose a fight. He cracked open a debate boxing can't seal shut. As he heals in private and others celebrate publicly, the clock keeps ticking toward the next reveal, the next leak, the next shock. And when it hits, you'll wish you hadn't looked away.
Jake Paul was knocked out in round 6 and suffered 2 fractures to his left jaw. Here's the moment that did it.
Chin served on a platter for that right hand right there. And look at Jake Paul's face.
There's no way I can share the actual injury here. It's a bit too gruesome as the camera was put inside Jake's mouth and his teeth were actually not in a straight line. They were separated from the others as the jaw deviated. Question is though, what kind of recovery process Jake would be.
Get knocked out. He got erased. Jaw broken. Trajectory rerouted. And the most unsettling part is that this may be the night Jake Paul's entire boxing identity quietly ended. So rewind with me to the moment before disaster, when everyone still believed confidence could cheat physics and power and survive. What was coming? It couldn't, not even close. And yeah, it feels unreal, but it isn't.
Back, AJ came right back in and swung, but he did move him back.
When this fight was first announced, you said to several media members that initially you weren't down for this fight. You thought it was just a little bit too much too soon, to paraphrase. Did he do better? Did Jake do better than you thought? Result aside, obviously you wanted him to win. You thought, I think by the end, that he was going to win, but did he actually do better than you thought initially?
The fight ending. It was a revelation. When Jake hit the canvas and stayed there, that wasn't bad luck or fatigue. That was the sport finally shouting the truth back at him. And here's what nobody wants to say yet, but soon will. Something went wrong long before the final punch. Something structural, something hidden, and someone in the story is lying. We just haven't reached that part yet.
And doesn't do any posts, but it is what it is. I'm actually glad this all happened this way so that he doesn't get, the biggest paycheck of his life and just continues to be a piece of shit.
10 interview you felt it when the tone shifted, didn't you? That split second of silence, the hesitation in the commentary, that's the sound of an illusion collapsing in real time. This wasn't Anthony Joshua peaking. This was Jake stepping into a level of violence he never truly prepared for. And if you think it ends with a broken jaw, you're already behind. Like its armor, but toughness didn't save him. It just kept him standing long enough to absorb damage that rewrites careers. What shattered wasn't just bone. It was the boundary between influencer boxing and real heavyweight consequence. And doctors are whispering things right now they're not ready to say on camera.
There's a lot of punching down, practicing, hitting below my knees, and a lot of speed.
He warming up.
We're
now.
sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your ass and I'm gonna beat Jaden Love ass. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. He know.
The x-rays. You saw the hospital post. What you didn't see was the panic behind the scenes, the urgency of that surgery. The moment this stopped, looking like a fight injury and started looking like a trauma case. And here's the part that turns the stomach. That final right hand didn't just land. It changed leverage, timelines, and possibly how commissions view fights like this going forward.